Well, it's obvious that if I stood behind this podium, I would be a talking head for real. It's my pleasure to be with you this evening, and I would like to thank Mike McGinnis and the Oakland County Democratic Party for making this event possible. I am a candidate for governor, and people are saying, oh my God, who is she? I grew up in this political process. My parents were very active in civil rights here in the state of Michigan. But that civil rights activity was born of a family tragedy that originated in South Carolina in the era of Jim Crow. I was born an identical twin, and at 2 years old, my twin sister Lucille caught her dress on fire. And as children will, she ran for Mom for help, and the air fanned the fire. She was seriously burned. The ambulance that came to take Lucille to the hospital turned around and left her to die in my mother's arms because the family was black. My parents taught us from that very trying time for me and my sister that the color of your skin, the depth of your wallet, and the place where you live must never determine your opportunity for a great quality of life. That has been the family value that has driven my public policy and that has determined my vote. The fact that Michigan has constitutional amendments that say we are not an inclusive state to business, to our own citizens, and to businesses that would locate here in the state of Michigan is a tragedy. We need a governor who is going to work to eliminate that constitutional amendment that says to any business that looks at Michigan, you don't belong here if you have one of them working for you. So it is time for a tough governor who understands the issues that face us and those issues that make people not want to be here in that office to make a change. My parents also taught us that public service is an honorable responsibility and job. I am not going to apologize for having been on a school board and learned in that course of time what education policy is and how it affects our children.
South
Lyon, Oakland County. I am not going to apologize for having served on the county commission, understanding what revenue sharing means to local units of government for public safety, public health, and our opportunities on roads and other dollars that are spent in the capital of Lansing. I am not going to apologize for having served 8 years, the only 8 years I could serve in the Michigan Senate. I served on the Appropriations Committee, and I came to understand the important role of the budget in determining how we affect public policy. If we're not spending on education and health care, our social safety net, if we're not spending on attracting jobs to Michigan and creating a level playing field so that they can all be successful, then government is failing. Have we made bad choices in Lansing? Yes. We have a structural deficit because of decisions that were made in the Michigan legislature. People who voted for a tax cut because it plays at the poll sold you out and sold me out. $1.2 billion went down the drain because of tax cut. It is critically important that you have somebody with experience and understanding of the Lansing process, who understands that when things go awry, how to correct the course, who knows and has enough experience to recognize when we are tragically going in the wrong direction. Yes, we used to be in the top 10, and we will be in the top 10 again when I'm governor of the state of Michigan, because I have a plan. And my plan for Michigan is a turnaround plan that includes education. It begins at preschool, where we need to make sure that those little brains are firing on all 6 or 8 cylinders so that these children hit school ready to learn. Right. And that our K-12 system is strong, and that we are recognizing that the test is not what we need to be teaching our students. We need to be teaching them out there. We need to empower our teachers to give every child the opportunity to reach their greatest potential. And that only comes with good teachers in the classroom who are given the freedom not to teach a test, but to teach a subject.
Yes.
It is critically important that we also have the opportunity for our young people when they finish the 12th grade to go on to college. We have a tuition rate in our public institutions that literally slams the door in the faces of kids from middle-income households down. And it is time to create a program that echoes the Kalamazoo Promise. It is called the Michigan Future, and that is my legislation that has been introduced to provide free tuition at our vocational technical centers, our community colleges, and our universities. Because our kids need that opportunity to recognize their capacity to turn Michigan around through their innovation, their creativity, and their willingness to put their shoulder to the wheel to grow Michigan back to the top 10 state. I have legislation that will create the Michigan Healthcare Exchange with our other Great Lakes states. We will put 8 states to work to create a pool and a universal healthcare system that gives everybody a chance for healthcare. The federal government has given us a responsibility. You need a governor who understands what that means, what an expansion of Medicaid by 100% means, and how to do it, and how to get it done. And I am that candidate. We have witnessed over the last 15 years what I call the socialization of capitalism. We have spent more taxpayer dollars on business in the state of Michigan than we have on some of our programs that the state government pays for our citizens. And that socialization of capitalism has to stop. I always thought that they invested their own money, their energy, venture capital when it came from outside in the private sector, in their business growth, and that it was the market that determined whether they were successful or not. Well, right now, we're shoring them up, when we should be shoring up the education process, the healthcare system, and the citizens of the state of Michigan that have been so sorely cheated in this declining economy. It is time for a governor who is going to turn this state around because she knows how to make this system work for the people of Michigan. It is time for this state to have a governor who, like Captain Sully Sullenberger, knew the ship that he was piloting, felt the change as he was landing on the Hudson River that told him he needed to make an adjustment, and had the knowledge to make that adjustment. I am that candidate, I will be that governor, and I want your vote. I can be found at almaformichigan.com, all spelled out, almaformichigan.com, and I want you to come out to the website, ask questions, challenge. I will push back where I think it's necessary, and I will be delighted to have your input on policy because this is your state. I work for you, and I will continue to work for you when you elect me governor. It is important that Michigan has someone who can lead, who can govern from day one. Is Michigan in trouble? You bet. We've cut $3 billion out of our state budget, and we've done it to the detriment of the citizens and the education picture here in Michigan. You want me to turn it around.